Ya, tenaga.
Salam keluarga Malaysia. Hello and good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jessica Lee and you're watching News at 10. In our top stories tonight, a total of 945 candidates contesting in the 15th general election. Datuk Seri Semasa remains as BN's PM candidate. Now, a total of 945 candidates are contesting in 222 parliamentary seats. According to Election Commission Chairman Tan Sri Abdul Ghani Saleh, no candidate have won uncontested in the 15th general election G15, while 6 nomination papers were rejected.
Tiada kursi yang menang tanpa bertanding. 6 kertas pencalonan telah ditolak, iaitu 4 kertas Parlimen dan 2 kertas Dewan Undangan Negeri.
Tan Sri Abdul Ghani said the Batu parliamentary seat in Kuala Lumpur has the most number of candidates at 10. Now, for contests in state legislative assemblies, he said N47 Chendriang in Perak takes the record with a 7-cornered fight. The Bugaya state by-election in Sabah is also witnessing a 7-cornered contest. The nomination process for GE15 and the Bugaya state by-election was held at 222 nomination centres throughout the country from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Tan Sri Abdul Ghani said the campaign period has started following the announcement of candidates by returning officers, and it will end at 11:59 p.m. on 18th of November. Now, GE15 involves 222 parliamentary seats and 116 state seats, namely 59 in Perak, 42 in Pahang and 15 in Perlis. According to the electoral rolls updated as of 9th of October, there are 21,173,638 voters. The Prime Minister Datuk Seri Semasa has warned against complacency, reiterating that there is no longer easy win for BN in any constituency. Now, Datuk Seri Semasa, who was officially nominated as BN's candidate for the Borough parliamentary seat in Pahang, said BN candidates who have their own strengths need to work hard while having a certain level of confidence at the same time. Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri, who is up against Dato' Asmawi Harun of Perikatan Nasional and Abbas Awang from Pakatan Harapan in Borough, said he was optimistic that BN can win the 15th general election and become the dominant party in the new government of Malaysia through hard work and cooperation from all the component parties.
Jadi kita tidak boleh kata selesa, kata komplasen. Setiap orang, setiap calon mempunyai kekuatan masing. Walaupun saya kata saya yakin menang di Borough, tapi kepada jentera saya tidak boleh mengambil mudah. Tidak boleh mengambil mudah terhadap setiap calon yang bertanding. Jadi kita mesti bekerja terus sehinggalah pengumuman dibuat pada malam 19 bulan dan barulah kita boleh kata yang kita sudah menang.
He also urged supporters of all parties to observe their discipline and maintain the peace and harmony of the country throughout the election period. On another note, Barisan Nasional will retain Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri as Prime Minister if the coalition wins the GE15. He said his selection as the candidate for the Prime Minister position was clearly decided at the 2021 UMNO General Assembly.
Setakat ini tidak ada keputusan daripada MT yang mengatakan sebaliknya. Keputusan untuk saya menjadi poster boy ataupun calon Perdana Menteri selepas PRU 15 diputuskan oleh Majlis Tertinggi, diputuskan oleh mesyuarat agung ataupun PAU, Perhimpunan Agung UMNO. Dan baru-baru ini 156 bahagian daripada 190 bahagian membuat usul mencadangkan saya sebagai calon Perdana Menteri selepas PR15. Perkara itu tidak di-reversekan, tidak ada mesyuarat yang memutuskan sebaliknya. Maknanya apa yang diputuskan still stand.
Now, the economy, the environment, women and education are among matters to be given emphasis in the Perikatan Nasional Manifesto for the GE15. Its chairman, Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin, said the coalition is expected to launch its manifesto in Kuala Lumpur tomorrow. Tan Sri Muhyiddin said the coalition is currently detailing all matters deemed important to implement for the people, while other aspects that will be looked into are social, environmental issues and so forth. He was met after the nomination process for the Pago parliamentary seat at Pago Higher Education Hub Convention Centre. Tan Sri Muhyiddin, who is also Bersatu president, is facing a three-cornered fight against BN candidate who is former MUA Member of Parliament Datuk Sri Razali Ibrahim and PH candidate from PKR Iskandar Shah Abdul Rahman. Tan Sri Muhyiddin won the parliamentary seat in the last general election with a majority of 6,927 votes, defeating past candidate Ahmad Nafwal Mahfuz and BN candidate Ismail Muhammad. Health Minister Khairi Jamaluddin expressed hope that the campaign for the GE15 will be conducted using the best possible method and in a healthy manner. Now, Khairi, who was officially nominated as BN's candidate for the Sungai Buloh parliamentary seat, will participate in a multi-cornered fight as there were 7 confirmed candidates for the seat.
Selepas ini rakyat bebas untuk memilih calon mereka, calon pilihan mereka, dan saya yakin di Sungai Buloh ini kita semua akan menjalankan kempen masing-masing dengan tertib, dengan kempen yang positif, yang sihat. Ya, tadi saya sempat berjumpa dengan semua calon dan alhamdulillah nampak kita insya-Allah akan dapat mengendalikan kempen masing-masing dengan penuh dengan disiplin, dengan penuh dengan pendekatan yang tertib insya-Allah.
Khairi also said the 7-cornered contest would be the toughest fight in his political career. Khairi is being challenged by Pakatan Harapan's Datuk R. Ramanan in PKR's effort to retain the seat for 4 consecutive times and Perikatan Nasional's Muhammad Ghazali Muhammad Hamin from PAS. The other contenders are Muhammad Akmal Muhammad Yusof of Pejuang, Parti Rakyat Malaysia's Ahmad Juflis Faiza, and 2 independent candidates, Nur Haslinda Basri and Said Abdul Razak Said Long Al-Sagaf. The Finance Minister Tengku Datuk Sri Zafrul Tengku Abdul Aziz will take on former Health Minister Datuk Sri Dr. Zulkifli Ahmad in a 4-cornered fight for the Kuala Selangor parliamentary seat in the 15th general election. When met after the closing of nominations, Tengku Datuk Sri Zafrul thanked supporters and the relevant agencies for ensuring a smooth nomination process.
Strategi utama kita ialah kita hendak mendengar, menghayati dan menyelesaikan masalah-masalah yang dihadapi oleh masyarakat Kuala Selangor.
Datuk Sri Dr. Zulkifli, who was Health Minister under the Pakatan Harapan government, had postponed his political retirement plans to slug it out with Tengku Datuk Sri Zafrul.
Terpandang rendah kepada sesiapa pun. Kita ada 4 calon dan saya mengambil serius semuanya.
Datuk Sri Dr. Zulkifli first won the Kuala Selangor constituency in 2008 with a 862 vote majority, and in 2018 he secured the seat with a 8,498 vote majority. Other candidates in the running are Perikatan Nasional's Muhammad Noor Muhammad Sahar and Parti Pejuang Tanah Air candidate Muhammad Syahid Rosli. The Titi Wangsa parliamentary constituency will see a 4-cornered intense battle among political bigwigs. Now, UMNO Supreme Council member Datuk Sri Johari Abdul Ghani makes a comeback to contest for the seat against Pakatan Harapan's Khalid Abdul Samad. Datuk Sri Khairuddin Abu Hassan, representing Pejuang, and dentist Dr. Rasmi Adam from Perikatan Nasional.
Ini adalah pertama kali kita akan berdepan dengan pengundi-pengundi muda 18, 19, 20. Ini entiti wangsa, they represent almost about 16%. Jadi sudah tentu ini adalah satu gerak kerja pilihan raya yang buat pertama kalinya kita berdepan dengan pengundi-pengundi muda yang sudah tentu dia merupakan satu cabaran kepada semua calon.
Datuk Seri Johari, who was former finance minister, first won the seat in the 13th general election but lost the seat to Women, Family and Community Development Minister Datuk Seri Rina Mohamad Harun in the 2018 polls. Now, Khalid, the former Federal Territories Minister, has moved from the Shah Alam constituency, a seat he had held for 3 terms, to contest in Titi Wangsa. Datuk Seri Khairuddin, a businessman turned politician, is contesting the polls for the second time after his first in Jasim Melaka in GE14. Dr. Rosni, 52, is the youngest of all 4 candidates and is contesting under the Perikatan Nasional banner. MCA President Datuk Seri Dr. Wee Ka Siong will not take lightly his challenges in GE15 despite having his own strength after serving Air Hitam community for 4 terms. Now, Datuk Seri Wee, who is contesting on a Barisan Nasional ticket, described his 2 opponents as a major challenge and would work harder to defend the Air Hitam seat, which he held since 2004. He is, however, confident with the spirit and support of BN machinery to assist him to secure his 5th win on 19th of November polling day.
Jadi saya yakin dengan adanya track record, saya berada di sini, bertanding di sini bukan sebagai bidang terjun. Sudah menjadi orang lama di sini, tahu mana lorong, di mana tempat, mana kawasan-kawasan yang dikatakan telah kita lakukan sesuatu pembangunan.
He said this to reporters after the nomination of candidates at Dewan Muafakat Air Hitam in Batu Pahat today. In G15, Datuk Seri Wee, 54, will be in a 3-cornered fight with PH candidate Sheikh Omar Baghrib Ali, who is also Johor DAP Vice Chairman, as well as PN candidate Muhammad Shafiq Abdul Aziz, the Special Officer to former Menteri Besar Datuk Osman Sapiam. The parliamentary constituency has 61,041 voters, comprising 58% Malay, 35% Chinese and 7% Indian voters. In G14, Datuk Seri Wee won with a mere 303 votes majority to defeat Liu Chin Tong of Pakatan Harapan and Mardi Marwan of PAS. Now, unlike previous general elections, Putrajaya parliamentary constituency incumbent Datuk Seri Tengku Anand Tengku Pansor will be defending his seat against 5 contenders in GE15. Now, for the first time since the seat was contested in 2004, the Putrajaya parliamentary constituency will see a 6-cornered fight between BN, PN, PH, Pejuang and 2 independent candidates. Besides Datuk Seri Tengku Anand, other candidates are Bersatu Vice President Datuk Dr. Razijidin for PN, Dr. Nuraisha Maidin Abdul Aziz, PH, Berjasa Deputy President Datuk Muhammad Rosli Ramli, who is using the Pejuang logo, as well as 2 independent candidates, namely Lim Fisbi and Samsudin Muhammad Fauzi. In the previous general elections, the Putrajaya seat was a straight fight except in GE14, which was a 3-cornered fight that saw Datuk Seri Tengku Anand retaining the seat with a 3,372 vote majority. Meanwhile, Datuk Dr. Razi said he and the PN machinery should focus on its own strength compared to other candidates. Now, as for independent candidate Samsudin, he said he would focus on cost of living related issues. Putrajaya, which is the Federal Administrative Centre, has 42,881 registered voters. Meanwhile, the Bugaya state by-election is a 7-cornered contest among Parti Warisan, Barisan Nasional, Pakatan Harapan, Pejuang, Parti Bangsa Malaysia, Parti Perpaduan Rakyat Sabah and an independent candidate. The candidates are Jamil Hamza of Warisan, Abdul Aziz Ibnu of UMNO from BN, Arastam Pandorok of PH from PKR, Muhammad Hassan Abu Bakar from Pejuang, Nasmawati Wali of PBM, Karil Pangeran Kuraini from PPRS, and an independent candidate, Zulfadli Sheikh Ahmad. The Bugaya seat fell vacant following the death of its Warisan incumbent Manis Muka Muhammad Dara on 17th of November 2020, but the by-election was postponed due to the proclamation of emergency to prevent the spread of COVID-19 pandemic. Effective 6th of October this year, Yang di-Pertuan Agong Al-Sultan Abdullah Riyatuddin Al-Mustafa Shah consented to lifting 6 ordinances and emergency proclamations, which were declared in November and December 2020 to postpone the Batu Sapi and Greek parliamentary by-elections and the Bugaya state by-election. The Election Commission has set the Bugaya by-election to be held simultaneously with the 15th general election on 19th of November. Now, 3 UMNO leaders who are contesting in G15 on either the opposition's ticket or as an independent candidate face immediate sacking by the party, according to its president, Datuk Seri Dr. Ahmad Zahid Hamidi. According to the UMNO's constitution, he said the party has the right to sack any member who contests on a ticket other than the party, including those who are proposers and supporters of candidates representing the opposition.
Di samping jika didapati laporan di antara pendukung-pendukung calon yang bertanding di luar Barisan Nasional itu turut terlibat menyokong calon-calon yang menentang calon Barisan Nasional. Ianya merupakan satu langkah biasa kerana kita mengikut tata cara dan tata etika yang terdapat di dalam Perlembagaan UMNO dan Barisan Nasional.
He said this in a press conference at his residence in Kampung Sungai Nipah Darat in Bagan Datuk today. Meanwhile, in today's nomination, Datuk Seri Dr. Ahmad Zahid is set to clash with Pakatan Harapan's Datuk Samsul Iskandar Muhammad Akin in a 4-cornered fight for Bagan Datuk parliamentary constituency in GE15. Datuk Seri Dr. Ahmad Zahid, who is the Bagan Datuk incumbent MP for 5 terms, is also being challenged by 2 other contenders, namely Perikatan Nasional candidate Dr. Muhammad Faiz Naaman, as well as independent candidate Muhammad Taufik Tun Dr. Ismail. Coming up, tear gas fired in Terima after KDM supporters riot. The Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission, or MACC, has set up its 15th General Election Operations Rooms across the country to facilitate complaints and channeling of information regarding acts of corruption and abuse of power throughout the campaign period. Now, the MACC said the operation rooms would operate all day starting from today until polling day on the 19th of November. The MACC said in a statement today that people can file their complaints by calling the phone number of the MACC branch office in their respective state. It said the public may also channel their complaints via email shown on the screen. The MACC also reminded candidates and political parties not to engage in activities that violate election laws and regulations in accordance with the MACC Act 2009 and the Election Offences Act 1954, Amendment 2012. Police have fired tear gas at political supporters who caused a commotion at candidate nomination centre at Dewan DSP Antanom Tenom in Sabah. Now, the incident occurred when the supporters of Parti Kesejahteraan Demokratik Masyarakat, or KDM, were dissatisfied over the rejection of the nomination form from the party's Datuk Peter Anthony by the returning officer. Sabah Police Commissioner Dato' Idris Abdullah in a media conference said the incident saw about 300 supporters of KDM trying to barge into the centre, forcing the enforcement team, including the Light Strike Force or LSF and General Operations Force assisted by the People's Volunteer Corps and civil defence personnel to take action to disperse them. However, he said police have yet to make any arrest following the incident, adding Dato' Anthony has lodged a report over the rejection of his nomination papers. He also advised people to remain calm over the incident. Meanwhile, Dato' Anthony was reported to bring the matter to court on Monday for review of today's decision. Now, in general, the candidate nomination process for the GE15 held across the country today was smooth and under control. Inspector General of Police Tan Sri Akro Sani Abdullah Sani said no provocations were detected at any of the nomination centres. However, he advised all candidates to not touch on sensitive issues that could disrupt public order during the campaign period, adding religious and racial issues should be avoided whilst false allegations are prohibited.
Dengan agensi-agensi yang lain akan memastikan bahawa keadaan sepanjang tempoh berkempen ini mulai hari ini sehinggalah 19 hari bulan akan dilangsungkan dengan keadaan yang selamat dan terkawal ini yang berkempen untuk memastikan bahawa apa yang kita akan buat semasa berkempen dibuat dengan penuh tata tertib, berhemah, bertanggungjawab, itu yang ustaz sekali bertanggungjawab dan memastikan bahawa kita tidak menyentuh isu-isu yang terlalu ekstrim berkaitan dengan agama, perkauman dan seumpamanya.
Coming up in our foreign segment, at least 15 killed in Russian nightclub fire. Now, at least 10 people were injured and dozens of homes destroyed after tornadoes hit Texas, Oklahoma and Arkansas late Friday. In northern Texas, near the border with Oklahoma, about 50 homes were destroyed or damaged, the Lamar County Sheriff's Office said after a tornado touched down on Friday afternoon. Lamar County Judge Brandon Bell had declared a disaster for the county. Search and rescue teams and generators were also headed to the area of Idabel, a city of about 7,000 in southeast Oklahoma. The National Weather Service had issued tornado warnings for parts of Texas, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. Tornadoes are a frequent and often devastating weather phenomenon in the United States, with the Great Plains states of Kansas, Oklahoma, and Texas the hardest hit. In December last year, dozens of devastating tornadoes ripped through 5 U.S. states overnight, leaving at least 79 people dead in Kentucky, with fatalities also recorded in Tennessee, Arkansas, Missouri, and Illinois. A fire today killed at least 15 people at a bar in the Russian city of Kostroma. The TASS news agency reported that the nighttime fire at the popular bar could have been started after a drunk man fired a flare gun on the dance floor. State television showed images of the bar called Polygon and housed in a single-story logistical center engulfed in flames. Authorities said the fire started around 2 a.m. local time and was put out at around 7:30 a.m. Governor Sergei Stinkov earlier said 13 people were killed, but emergency services then said the remains of 2 other people were found. Around 250 people were evacuated from the building when it caught fire in the city around 300 kilometers northeast of Moscow. Local emergency services said the blaze had spread out over 3,500 square meters. The state television showed images of dozens of emergency workers fighting a huge fire that had engulfed a single-story building. Now, one firefighter said it took 50 people and 20 fire engines to extinguish the fire. He said the fire was especially difficult to put out because of the risk of the building collapsing. Coming up in sport, Danishan and Nur Janaton continue winning streak at the Para Sukma. Now, after winning the men's open compound event on Wednesday, national archery para-athlete G. Danishan continued his winning streak by adding 2 more gold medals to his haul at the 2022 Malaysian Para Games, or the Para Sukma, today. Danishan won the men's individual compound Olympic round event by defeating Pulau Pinang archer Muhammad Saiful Rizal Muhammad Sakir 135 to 131, and the open men's doubles event with fellow Kedahan Azrul Abdul Rashid by beating Muhammad Aizat Zaini Muhammad Nazri Arifin of the Federal Territories 148 to 142 at the Turf Field, National Sports Council MSN Bukit Jalil. Danishan is dedicating his success to his father, R. Govinda, his family members and coaching staff who helped him throughout his career in archery.
Nah, skor dengan Olympic round dekat Miss Team dengan double pun okey jugalah. Puas hati. Sebab sebelum ni papa saya cakap, sebelum ni tak ada menang. Dia pun cakap, "Bah, tak apa. Ini bukan time kau. Ada time, masa tu kau tunjuklah." Yang tu je.
Now, after suffering from sleepless nights throughout the Para Malaysia Games, Para compound archer Nur Janaton Abdul Jalil was at last able to celebrate her birthday on a victorious note today. Janaton, who claimed the women's individual qualifying round gold on Wednesday, bagged 2 more titles on the final day of the compound discipline in Bukit Jalil. Janaton overcame tricky weather conditions to emerge victorious in the women's Olympic round individual event after edging Pulau Pinang's Nazira Noor 127 to 126. Terenggano's Nur Haslina Surya Muhammad took the bronze after overcoming Perak's Nurul Farha Abdul Hamid 114 to 108. Janaton then paired with Zafi Rahman Matsaleh to clinch the mixed team goal with a 140 to 128 win over Kedas Danishan and Sharon James in the final. Pulau Pinang's Nazira and Saiful Rizal Sakir took bronze after beating Kuala Lumpur's Ummi Kalsum Suhaimi and Nazri Arifin 141 to 130.
Saya bersyukur apa yang dirancang Allah bagi lebih daripada apa yang kita orang rancang. Alhamdulillah, Allah pemudahkan semua sekali hari ini urusan saya dengan tim saya. Saya bersyukur sangat. Target adalah 2 medal emas, tapi kita orang buat setakat ni dapat 3.
Final item of football, Terengganu FC or TFC head coach Nafuzi Zain has conceded that their first leg Malaysia quarter-finals mission at the Cheras Stadium tomorrow night would be difficult. Now, he expects all players to give their best in a clash against Kuala Lumpur City or KL City FC in the away match. According to the 44-year-old coach, Boyan Hodak has certainly prepared his squad to defend the Malaysia Cup trophy they won last year. Nafuzi said the challenge in the quarterfinals is much tougher for TFC because his charges are facing KL City, who are the defending champions. He said the battle will be fierce because Kuala Lumpur will try their best to defend the title. Once more, Nafuzi said KL City are now highly motivated after emerging runners-up in the Asian Confederation Cup or AFC Cup 2022 last month. When asked about the starting 11 of the Turtles for the match, Nafuzi said that he will most likely field the usual starting lineup. At the same time, the Kelantan-born coach said there would be a slight change in the defence as his top defender, Sharul Nizam Ros Hasni, has been ruled out after receiving a red card during the meeting with Sri Pahang FC earlier in the week. Nafuzi said they are also looking to the goalkeeper, Suhaimi Hussein, who has shown continued improvement in every game he participated in. And that's it for this evening. In our top story, no G15 candidates win uncontested. Join us again, or join me again at 12:30 tomorrow afternoon. I'm Jessica Lee. Stay tuned to Saluran Berita RTM.